Hey there everyone, welcome to Network Pips. So in today's class, I'm going to walk you through a sample project on how we can deploy and run a real world application on a bare metal server and not as a container. Then later on, I'm going to show you how we can dockerize all this application with all the files and have it with all the files and dependencies and have it as a content as an image which you can use to deploy and run it as a container in different environments. So let's say a developer reach out to you, that he wants to deploy this conduit UI application uh, uh, and have it accessible over a web browser by anyone. You understand? So he have given you the only thing the developer needs to do. He needs to give you access to this application and a very comprehensive and descriptive README file, which you can read through and understand what this application is, how it works, and how you can set it up and deploy it on the server. That's all that we needed. So basically, getting started, you can see the developer have already given you steps to deploy this application. It's telling you to clone this repo on the server which you want to deploy it. Then do npm I. npm is simply a node package manager. This application is a node.js application. You understand? So for us to install all the dependencies of this application, which means we're going to have a node package manager installed on the server which we want to deploy it. Then after that, we're going to use also a node package manager to also start this application to start running. So, and it's telling you that by default this application is running on port 5556 and it can be changed on this file. I'm not going to bother about that. I'm going to leave the port at default because there's nothing wrong with it. So then also for convenience, I have told you that the API of this, the API that this UI is connecting to is running on this URL. You understand? So if you want to know more about the API, you can also click here to see the API of this guy. And you can, if you decide to clone and run your API, want this UI to connect to a different API. API simply means the back end which this front end application is connecting to is actually hosted here. But if you want to change that part, you don't want it to be connecting to this one again, you can change it simply on this file. Very, very descriptive. Then it's telling you that this application is just a social blogging site. You understand? And the name is called Conduit. Simple. And these are all the actions of API that we can make on the application. Very, very simple. So I've gone ahead to clone this application on my local system. I'll also have the link drop in the comment section, in the description section, and you can also have it as well. So let me log into my server, and I'm going to show you how we can set up this application. So here in my server, I have npm already installed here just to save us some time. So for you to install npm, you're going to use sudo app because I'm on Ubuntu, so I'm using the app manager. If you are on CentOS, obviously you're going to use yum to install that. So for this guy Ubuntu, I'm going to use app install npm. Then it's going to analyze and tell me that there is not npm is already installed and I'm running version. See the version I'm running of my npm. So you can do the same and have npm installed on your system as well. You can also install node.js using the same app install node.js as well. Or you can go to the official site of node.js to see also to pick up the latest version of node.js if you're having, or pick up a specific version of it if you're having any compatibility issue as well. I'm going to switch to the repo of this application. I'm going to switch it, and I'm going to have my go to app, and here you can see the package.json. This is where all the dependencies of this application is hosted. Let me show you package.json, and I'm going to open it. So this is all the dependencies that this application needs to run. If you do not install these dependencies, this application will not run correctly. It will break, or it will throw you an error. So I'm going to do npm then I for short, or you can do install in old-fashioned way to install all the dependencies of this application. So it's going to go ahead and install all the dependencies that this application needs. It didn't take me much time to install it because I've already installed it before. So for you, it might take you a little more time than mine. So here I'm going to do npm start. The second command that it asks us to run is simply npm. Let's see that npm start to start this application, and we'll have it running. So I'm going to do npm start, and I will have this application starting and it will run. So it's simply telling me that I can access this application via localhost, which means I can do call blah 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 localhost 5556. You understand? Or I can access this application via web using the public IP as well. So you can see this application is running successfully. You can see successful and it's listening on port 5556. So I'm going to go to my AWS console because this guy is deployed on my AWS console, and I'm going to copy this my public IP. What I'm going to copy is this running on this server, and if I come here on the security group, I've already permitted that port. Let me show you. If I type 5556, you can see I've already permitted it to any. So this is how my security group looks like. I did a custom security group. I can show you here so you can see it as well how I did that. So I did a custom security group. I simply do a custom security group, then I come here, I did 5556, then I come here, I did 0 to permit all. Then when I'm done, I would save. I'm not going to save this now, I'm just going to cancel it. Then I come to my browser and I will paste down my IP. So I'm going to do HTTP because it's not a secured application yet. There is no certificate running, so it's not listening on port 443. I'm going to paste this guy. I'm going to do colon. I'm going to preface with it 5556. Then hit enter and have my conduit application on. So you can see this application is loaded up, and we have all the blocks that is running. If I click on this guy, I'm going to open a new page for me, and I'm going to read all the necessary blog posts, and I'm sure I'm going to make a comment section. It's fine. Then you can post it as well. So it's asking me to sign up. So I'm not gonna do that. Then you can sign up if you want to. Then you can play around with this application and you see how it works too. Works as well. Very, very great. So with that, it will bring us to the end of this class, and I would like you to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Comments on the drop a comment on the section below if you have any question, and see you in the next class where we are going to build our own image to create this application with all the files and dependencies that it needs to run it as a container. See you in the next class.